Welcome to LightHouse KinShip's devotional video, Spiritual Fatigue and Weariness, David. Today is Thursday, December the 29th, 2022. Bobby and I are here at the observation tower at Roosevelt State Park in Morton, Mississippi.
Psalm 13, verses 1 and 2, NIV. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me?
Like Joseph, David's spiritual fatigue and weariness started with jealousy from his siblings. As with Joseph, David's siblings looked down on him, but God lifted him up.
1 Samuel 17, verses 17, 19, 22, 23, 26, 28, 29, New Living Translation. One day Jesse said to David, "Take this basket of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread and carry them quickly to your brothers." David's brothers were with Saul and the Israelite army at the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines. David left his things with the keeper of supplies and hurried out to the ranks to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks. Then David heard him shout his usual taunt to the army of Israel. David asked the soldiers standing nearby, "What will a man get for killing this Philistine and ending his defiance of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway, that he is allowed to defy the armies of the living God?" But when David's older brother Eliab heard David talking to the men, he was angry. "What are you doing around here anyway?" he demanded. "What about those few sheep you're supposed to be taking care of? I know about your pride and deceit. You just want to see the battle." "What have I done now?" David replied. "I was only asking a question."
Hallman, Bible Dictionary. Jealousy, hostility towards a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage. Both Joseph and David had an advantage. They were men after God's own heart. Genesis 39 and Acts 13:22 NIV. Being men after God's own heart, Joseph and David had God's protective hands wrapped securely around them, no matter what their circumstances were.
1 Samuel 18, verses 6 to 12 and 14, New Living Translation. When the victorious Israelite army was returning home after David had killed the Philistine, women from all the towns of Israel came out to meet King Saul. They sang and danced for joy with tambourines and cymbals. This was their song: "Saul has killed his thousands, and David his 10,000s." This made Saul very angry. "What's this?" he said. "They credit David with 10,000s and me only with thousands. Next they'll be making him their king." So from that time on, Saul kept a jealous eye on David. The very next day, a tormenting spirit from God overwhelmed Saul, and he began to rave in his house like a madman. David was playing the harp, as he did each day, but Saul had a spear in his hand, and he suddenly hurled it at David, intending to pin him to the wall. But David escaped him twice. Saul was then afraid of David, for the Lord was with David and had turned away from Saul. David continued to succeed in everything he did, for the Lord was with him.
Have you ever questioned God's definition of success? Do you think Joseph or David thought they were climbing the ladder of success? When the spear of jealousy is being hurled at you, as it was at David, does spiritual fatigue and weariness begin to pierce your very being?
1 Samuel 18, verses 20, 21, 25, 28, and 29, New King James. Now Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David, and they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. So Saul said, "I will give her to him, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him." Therefore Saul said to David a second time, "You shall be my son-in-law today." Then Saul said, "Thus you shall say to David, the king does not desire any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines to take vengeance on the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines. Thus Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him. And Saul was still more afraid of David. So Saul became David's enemy continually.
For over a decade, King Saul's jealousy caused David to become a fugitive. Because of Saul's continual pursuit of David, David is forced to move from place to place, hiding in caves, the wilderness, and even among the enemy. Psalms chapter 13, in the first 2 verses, the question, how long, is asked 4 times. Are you like David and Joseph, asking the Lord, how long?
Psalm 23, verses 4 to 6, TPT. Even when your path takes me through the valley of deepest darkness, fear will never conquer me, for you already have. Your authority is my strength and my peace. The comfort of your love takes away my fear. I'll never be lonely, for you are near. You become my delicious feast, even when my enemies dare to fight. You anoint me with the fragrance of your Holy Spirit. You give me all I can drink of you until my cup overflows. So why would I fear the future? Only goodness and tender love pursue me all the days of my life. Then afterward, when my life is through, I'll return to your glorious presence to be forever with you.
This concludes our devotional video of Lighthouse KinShip, Spiritual Fatigue and Weariness. David, 1 Chronicles 29:26-28 NIV. David, son of Jesse, was king over all Israel. He ruled over Israel 40 years, 7 in Hebron and 33 in Jerusalem. He died at a good old age, having enjoyed long life, wealth, and honor. His son Solomon succeeded him as king.
Monica and I thank you for traveling along with us here at the Country Church, also known as the Kimbrell Methodist Church, relocated here in 1972 from the Kimbrell community. Also, here is a small cemetery, and we're inside the Tannehill Ironworks Historic State Park, McCalla, Alabama. Come along and journey with us by subscribing to our channel. Hit that little notification bell so that you won't miss our next stop. And please, give us a thumbs up, liking our videos, and help us to spread the gospel by sharing these videos on your social media platforms. Thank you for leaving your comments below on how these devotions are helping you, and also your prayer requests so that we know how to pray for you.